Happy Fun Fact Friday. I hope everybody had a great Earth Day and got to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather that we had. Today is an extremely specific edition of Fun Fact Friday because it's Weather Awareness Week. South Dakota's Severe Weather Awareness Week was this whole week. During this time, it's important to take time with your family and review your weather safety plan. You may have heard sirens Wednesday morning, which was our statewide tornado drill. There is so much to learn about when it comes to weather, but today I'm going to try my best to keep it as basic as I can. Weather is with us wherever we go and with whatever we do. It plays a huge part in our day-to-day plans. It affects what we wear and what we do. In its most destructive forms, it can even change our lives. We know that weather plays a big part in our lives, but it also plays a really big part in the plants and animals that live around here as well. Can you think of ways that weather would affect plants and animals? Rain, like what we're experiencing today, can have a big effect on the prairies and start livening them up, which I've talked about a whole bunch. If we do get a later freeze into the spring, it can destroy new buds that pop up and it can weaken or kill some plants. Tornadoes can toss little nestlings from the tree. Snow can insulate plants and animals beneath the earth from the cold, but it can also make it difficult for some animals to move around and find food. Many animals and plants die each year from the different whims of weather. Without weather, none of these would survive at all. Weather is a great topic to explore as a family, especially during spring when things are changing so much. By investigating weather, you can sharpen your observation skills and become more aware of the many connections that weather has with nature. It can also help us appreciate plant and animal adaptations a little bit more, and it helps us to remember that it doesn't always have to be a sunny day to be nice out. Stormy days are equally as important. It also gives us a chance to learn about how humans affect the weather and what it means for our natural system. First of all, I think it's really important to know just exactly what weather is. Well, in a nutshell, weather is what's happening in the air around us at this very moment. We describe weather by explaining things such as temperature, the amount of wind, the amount of humidity, air pressure, and precipitation. So, we experience weather every day. But what about climate? Weather varies a lot from day to day and even hour to hour. However, over time, patterns develop. A specific region will tend to have a certain range of weather conditions every summer and every winter, depending on the unique characteristics of that area, such as how directly the sun shines on it or how well the surface reflects and absorbs light and heat, and where they're located, whether relative to wind flow, patterns that are influenced where the sun shines or how the earth turns, and locations of mountains, hills, and valleys. Here, our wind currents and precipitation relate to the Rocky Mountains, whereas if we go just a little bit farther east into far east Minnesota, the currents and precip are relative to the Great Lakes. South Dakota has a continental climate with 4 distinct seasons, ranging from cold, dry winters and hot, semi-humid summers. During the summer, the state's average temperatures are sometimes close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, but they cool down to roughly 60 degrees Fahrenheit at night. The patterns that make up climate are so important. They help us to know what kind of clothes we need to wear from one season to the next. They increase the odds that baby animals will be born or hatch under conditions that they can survive in. They decrease the likelihood that a tree's leaves will freeze off as soon as they emerge. And because these patterns are just generalizations, they're not always going to predict accurately what's going to happen at any particular time of year. But they do give us a good idea of what to expect. Weather is critical to life as we know it. Plants need sunlight and precipitation to survive, and the rest of us need plants to survive. Without sun and rain, we wouldn't be here at all. At the same time, weather can harm living things. Too much sun can suck the water right out of plants, causing them to shrivel up and die. Too much rain can cause floods that sweep animals from their home. Too much wind can blow over trees. Too much cold freezes an animal's solid. Fortunately, plants and animals have adaptations that help them survive and thrive in the weather conditions that commonly occur around them. Deer grow thick coats to protect them from the winter's cold. Succulent plants have the ability to store water in between infrequent rainfalls. As valuable as such traits are, those that enable a plant or animal to thrive in one area can also make it difficult or impossible for them to live in other areas or even in that same area if the weather were to suddenly range from old age patterns. For example, a snowshoe hare's coat turns white each fall, enabling them to camouflage themselves against the snow. If no snow falls, they would easily be meals for sharp-eyed predators. Alrighty, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Fun fact time! Here we go. The highest temperature recorded in South Dakota was 120 degrees Fahrenheit, observed on July 15th, 2006 in Eustis, South Dakota. The lowest recorded temperature is negative 58, and that was recorded on February 17th, 1963 in McIntosh. The sun provides 126 trillion horsepower of energy to the earth every second. Snow is a great insulator. Many animals rely on it to protect them from sub-zero temperatures in the winter. In 1918, a 3-day blizzard swept across the Midwest, dumping snow on South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Colorado, and Utah. Well, that's not too weird, is it? Maybe not, except for the snowstorm started on the 4th of July. When compared to Earth size, the layer of the atmosphere, which clouds form, is no thicker than the leather cover of a softball. A cloud is a large group of tiny water droplets that we can see in the air. Clouds are formed when water on Earth evaporates to the sky and condenses high up into the cooler air. This is part of the water cycle. Clouds can contain millions of tons of water. There are a range of different types of clouds, and the main types include stratus, cumulus, and cirrus. Stratus clouds are flat, and featureless, appearing as layered sheets. Cumulus clouds are puffy, like cotton floating in the sky. We saw a lot of those yesterday. We often call those thunderheads, and there is a lot of energy built up in these clouds. Cirrus clouds are thin, wispy clouds that appear high in the sky. These guys usually indicate wind. There are a lot of variations of the three main cloud types that help us forecast the weather coming our way. Fog is another type of a cloud that appears very close to the ground. Other planets in our solar system have clouds as well. Venus has thick clouds of sulfur dioxide, and Jupiter and Saturn have clouds of ammonia. Rain falls from clouds in little drops that we call precipitation. Water can also fall in forms of hail, sleet, or snow. Rain occurs on other planets in our solar system as well, but it's different rain than we experience here. For example, rain on Venus is made of sulfuric acid, and due to the intense heat, it evaporates before it even reaches the surface. The highest amount of rainfall ever recorded in 1 year is 1,000 inches, which was recorded in India. Rainbows are created by both reflection and refraction, or bending of light and water droplets in the atmosphere, which results in a spectrum of light appearing. A rainbow is in fact a full circle. However, due to most people viewing a rainbow on the ground, we only see a semicircle or an arch of the rainbow. Okay, I love thunderstorms, so here are a few fun facts that have to do with storms. Thunder is a sound caused from intense heat from lightning that causes the surrounding air to rapidly expand and create a sound wave. Lightning can heat the air it passes through up to 50,000 degrees. Light travels faster than sound, so we see lightning before we hear thunder. The closer we are to lightning, the shorter the gap between seeing lightning and hearing thunder will be. We always counted in between the strike of lightning to the thunder crack, and we believed that every second we counted was how many miles away that lightning struck. The speed of sound is 767 miles per hour, and the speed of light is nearly 700 million miles per hour. A lightning bolt can strike up to 15 miles from an actual thunderstorm. All right, we're going to take it a step further and talk about tornadoes. I love the thrill of a good tornado warning, but as I'm growing up and I have to pay for my own cars and toys and homes, they're a little bit less exciting to me. A tornado is very dangerous and nothing to mess around with. This is where you and your family need to have your severe weather plan in action and know what to do. A tornado watch means that the weather conditions could lead to the formation of severe storms or tornadoes. A tornado warning means that a tornado has been spotted or has been indicated on a weather radar, meaning that a tornado is occurring and expected to occur soon. When there is a tornado warning issued, you need to take action immediately. You need to find shelter, like in your basement or a cellar or anywhere away from windows. A tornado is a rapidly spinning tube of air that touches both the ground and the cloud above. Most tornadoes have speeds of wind less than 100 miles an hour, but extreme tornadoes can reach speeds of over 300 miles an hour. They generally only last a few minutes, and they only travel a few miles before exhausting yourself. Extreme tornadoes, however, can travel much further, some over 100 miles. The tri-state tornado that traveled through parts of Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana in 1925 left a path of destruction over 219 miles and killed 695 people. In the southern hemisphere, tornadoes rotate clockwise, and in the northern hemisphere, where we live, tornadoes rotate in the counterclockwise direction, kind of like toilet water. There is so much more to learn about weather, and I would love to teach you more about it. However, I don't want you watching me on YouTube all day, so I want you to get outside and investigate weather that's going on around you today. I think today is our first cloudy, potentially stormy day, so get out and see what's going on, but be safe. Since it's raining outside, today's challenge is going to be an indoor challenge. I want you to make up a story about a time that you lived through some crazy weather. It can be a thunderstorm, blizzard, insane heat, hail, or whatever you want. It can also be fiction or nonfiction, meaning that you can be as creative as you want and make it up so that it's a fiction story, or it can be nonfiction and something that actually happened to you. Really quick, before I send you on your way, I am going to draw for last week's prizes. Alrighty, we've got our trusty cup here and lots of names. And the first one, upside down, Matela. And the second one, Christy. Okay, I will reach out and get those going as soon as possible. This week's prizes are going to be mindful cards that are inspired by nature and a critter journaling thing and state park beanies if you don't have them already, and if you do, I'll replace it with something cool. Thank you for tuning in for another Fun Fact Friday, and I hope you all had an excellent week and enjoyed the weather outside. I will see you on Monday for more nature lessons through YouTube and e-learning. Bye.